What's happening? Man, it is an absolute scorcher here in the desert of Colorado today. It's right at around 100 degrees outside, and even worse, inside of our 21-foot travel trailer, it's also right at around 100 degrees. That being said, I'm gonna show you guys a quick hack today to show you how to make your RV's AC a whole lot more efficient, a whole lot cooler, and even a little quieter too. What I'm gonna be using today is a jigsaw, a tape measure, and this foam board here that I got from Home Depot or Lowe's or whichever one. Just a regular wood cutting blade will be fine. That's what we're going to use to cut this. You can use a razor blade if you're talented like that, but if you got a jigsaw, it makes it a whole lot easier. And I've already got the filter covers off, but I'm working with a Coleman Mach AC unit. I don't know which model this is. All right, so the first thing you have to do after removing the filter is loosen these 4 screws on the outer base here. All right, now that you have that outer piece off there, you have the inner piece here that's exposed, and take note of where the intake and the outlet openings are. In my case, I know by the orientation of this opening back in the back here. So yours may be a little bit different. Just make sure that you realize how it's put together here. Normally there would be a screw right here as well, but Grand Designs figured that it wasn't that necessary. So we're just gonna have to loosen up the rest of the screws here to get that piece off. All right, so now that I have this cover off, I can actually show you what it is that we're actually fixing. As you can see from the manufacturer, they do kind of a poor job at routing air. And as you know, air takes the path of least resistance. So basically air gets sucked in through this side here, and then it gets condensed and cooled and then blown out this side here. But as you can see, it's not really separating it. It's probably just creating like a tornado effect of air that's just making it extremely inefficient. The air then comes through here and through here, and those are gonna be your ducted areas inside the AC, or inside the RV rather. And as you can see, well, they're not really all that great for air to run through either, but that's what you got. So essentially what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be replacing that piece there, and I'm gonna be sealing off everything real good, so that way the intake air and the air coming out are separated properly the way that they're supposed to be. I'm also gonna make it a little bit easier for the air to flow through and to the ducts, so that way it cools us down easier and more efficiently. So the first thing I've done is just remove this little piece here, which is pretty much useless. Just kind of clean up this ducting area here a little bit and just make it a little bit easier for the air to flow through. I've already cleaned this one up over here on this side. I'll probably remove that or just kind of tape it down a little bit better. So the first thing we have to do is we have to cut a divider that's about this size here. So basically what I'm doing is just cutting out one of these, but out of this project board, which is going to be a lot better. So I've cut the divider out here, and I cut a little notch there's a little notch in mine right there, so I cut a little notch in it. This stuff is really easy to work with the jigsaw. And then I had to cut a little bit off the bottom to make it flush. Make sure that you put that brace piece up, just kind of test fit it, and make sure that it all fits. And then after you do that, just tape up around the side so that way there's no air escape. All right, so I could stop here and it would be more efficient already than what it was. But next what I'm gonna do is create basically a little angle for the air to come down from the blower into the duct holes there. I'm gonna do that on both sides. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to measure the distance that I need, and then I'm going to cut each end at a 45-degree angle in order for them to fit flush against the sheet metal there. All right, so my calculations say that I need a 6x8 piece, so we'll see. 6x8 piece does work, so now I just need to cut the 45-degree angles in them, and I've got to cut a little slot here for these bolts. All right, so I've got it angled at both sides here. I've got my little slot cut out for the screw. After test fitting it though, you can see that I need to cut just a little bit more off, so I need to cut it like right around there at that same 45-degree angle. All right, so I had to cut the opening for the screw just a little bit more. The angle's not perfect, but that's gonna be fixed by the tape, so that's not a huge deal. I could make it a little cleaner angle, but I think that's going to work out pretty well. Definitely going to work out a whole lot better than the way they had it. I'm also going to seal that up with tape. And then now it's time to do the same thing on the other side. All right, and that is the finished product. Now, it's not pretty. but it doesn't have to be pretty. It's just got to work. So we've made it more efficient. Remember, the air is going to come up through here, and then it's going to come out cold over here. Hot air, cold air. The cold air now is going to go down into these ducts a little bit easier that are on the side. Now you could do an extra little triangle piece right here like I've seen some people do, but by doing that you kind of cut off the air to the dump vents on the side of the actual plastic piece. So this right here though is going to be a huge improvement over the stock. So let's button it all back up and see how it does. All right, so survey says this is a whole lot better than what it was. What would you think, darling? You're sitting there with your cool towel on.
It's hot. It's 98.
But do you think that's a whole lot better than it was?
It's definitely pumping way more air.
Way more?
Way more.
Okay.
Like
should be
probably
good.
at least 50% more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say so too. All right, well, hopefully this helps you get your AC working a little bit better inside of your RV. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, peace.